welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom. And in this video, we're going to continue looking at the Native American story, specifically of the American girl named Kea. So we're going to be looking at her short stories. And I'm looking at my phone here because I did find, and I will link this, I found these free online. So we're going to talk a little bit about her short stories. So, her short story collection. So the first story you have in her short stories, now these are by Janet Shaw. This is the same author who did the original books. And again, she had a lot of help from a committee of Native people and Native experts. So, the first story is Kea and the River Girl. And in this story, Kea becomes jealous of this girl from a different tribe. I think she's Salish, which is the tribe where Kea's foster sister, who's blind, spends certain time of the year with the woman who saved her life in the book series. So she gets jealous of Spotted Owl because of her friendship with her foster sister. But eventually they have to learn to work together to save an elder's life. The next one is Kea and the Beavers. So in this story, it's still winter, and Kea's mother has her take her brothers out, who we do actually finally get to know their ages. They're about 5. And it's winter, and otherwise they're living in long houses, and, typical of small boys. They're driving their mother crazy. She's like, take your little brothers away. They're driving me insane. So she takes them to see this family of beavers. Well, they also run into another boy who lost his family in a race, so his parents had been killed. And so at first he's kind of jealous and he wants to hurt the beavers because he's angry. But then he tries to help them, only he accidentally destroys their dam. So him and Kea have to work together. They go downriver to get the logs that had gone downriver, so they help the beavers rebuild their dam so they're not attacked by I believe it's a wolf or a bear, one of the two. So then you have Kea and the flood. And in this story, when they're on their way to dig out the Comas route, I think I'm pronouncing that. You can check out, I did a whole video on this important route. Kea has to stay behind with her grandmother and one of the other women who's about to give birth. And so they set up a hasty shelter. This woman gives birth to her baby, but Kea's horse, she hears, I don't know whether she's outside, but the horses come running by, and she's able to catch the horse belonging to the woman who just gave birth. And she listens and realizes there's a flash flood coming. So they're able to hastily grab what they need and themselves and get the heck out of the way. And get this newly given birth woman and her baby on a horse, and they're able to get out of the way. Kea is eventually able to find the rest of their horses, but she can't find her own. And then she does find Steps High, but Steps High's fall had gotten basically stuck in the river, so he's stuck on a little island thing, so she has to ride her horse through the water to get the baby and bring her back. So that's the flash flood story. Kea and the injured dog. So this goes back to, and I'll review the mysteries shortly. Kea in the previous stories had her dog, but her dog she gives up to another woman in one of the mysteries because this woman needs her dog more. In this story, she helps another member's dog who she's a puppy, so she's not really listening all that well, and she actually does save Kea's life from a bear and loses one of her legs, so Kea nurses her, and eventually the dog becomes hers. So she has a 3-legged dog who now listens. Hard lesson to learn, lose a leg to a bear, but she's nursed back to health, and she becomes Kea's dog. So, and then the last story is Kea and the grandmothers. Now, in this story, they find a older woman who I think Kea finds her. And it's getting close to the time when her foster sister is going to go join the Salish. So Kea is not entirely happy about this, even though, again, we find changes for Kea. It was her suggestion. But they find this older woman who's, I think she'd gone looking for her sister. And this is a woman who's part of their tribe. So she's of the Nimipu, or the Nez Perez people. So she's just not necessarily part of their specific group. So, and Kea essentially bonds with this older woman and starts helping take care of her, which helps her friend Silent Rain or Speaking Rain. Did I mention Speaking Rain? Feel better about leaving, because now Kea has somebody else to look after. So those are the short stories. They're all probably around 40 or 40 some pages long. So they're interesting. They're a good look into kind of day-to-day life, similar to the books, only obviously these are short stories. They all have lessons, which again is part of this series, where you're being historically accurate, but you also have to, this is historical fiction that's written for around 9 to 10-year-old girls. So they all have to have lessons. That's kind of the point of how you're watching this girl, Kea, grow. So they're very cute stories. They teach important lessons about learning about others and respecting nature, while also showing the culture of the Nimipu, or the Nez Perez tribe. And you get a bit more of a look at Kea and her family and how things operate. So you get more of the look of the Comas route, which, if you've watched my video on her 6 full books, they do not mention that enough. In my opinion, after watching an entire YouTube video about that's made by the Park Service and the people, not the ancestors, that's not the word, the descendants of the fictional Kea's people. Because obviously Kea is fictional. The Nimipu, or the Nez Perez tribe, are certainly not, nor are they history. This part of it is, because this is their history, but the people still very much exist, and they still have a culture, and they mostly live in Idaho these days. So that's where their main tribal lands are. Even though I don't think they own most of them, but that's another video. You can check that out. I'm covering, holy, don't hear that, 6-year-old slamming toilet lids down, because 6-year-olds, it's about 4:30 in the afternoon. So, but nonetheless, this is a great series of short stories. I will link how I got to them so you can read them for free online. You can also probably find the collection used if you want a physical form. So that is it for this review. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe. I will be covering her mysteries, will be my next Monday video. I will actually be shooting it shortly there, just as soon as I finish this. And then we have a few more videos to shoot for Kea in January. It's actually Boxing Day, so it's the 26th of December when I'm filming this. So like and subscribe, leave a positive comment if you have one, and check out the rest of my videos. Thank you.